Luffy isn't just a cheerful and carefree captain. He's also an incredibly skilled user of Conqueror's Haki, a rare power that only those with the qualities of a king can possess. Well, he is the future pirate king, after all. At first, he had no idea that he even had Conqueror's Haki until it exploded out of him by accident. Remember when he stopped the Bull Matobaro with just a single look? Or when he knocked out the Kuja warriors in Amazon Lily's arena? That was the beginning of his Haki awakening. Throughout his journey, Luffy unknowingly used Conqueror's Haki in different situations. In Impel Down, he made the attacking wolves collapse in fear. At Marineford, he knocked out Galdino, an executioner, and a bunch of marine soldiers without even lifting a finger. After training with Rayleigh for 2 years, Luffy mastered Conqueror's Haki like an expert. He could now target specific people instead of accidentally knocking out innocent bystanders. A great example was when he defeated the fake Straw Hat crew without harming the civilians around them. But his most impressive feat at that time was on Fishman Island, where he instantly took down 50,000 new Fishman pirates with one blast of his Haki. That alone made him a true force to be reckoned with. Then, in Wano, despite being defeated by Kaido once, Luffy awakened the ability to infuse his entire body with Conqueror's Haki. Not just his hands or feet, his whole body radiated black lightning, proving he had reached an advanced level of this power. Combined with his high-level armament Haki, he was able to unleash devastating attacks that caused massive shockwaves. Finally, when Luffy fought Kaido for the 3rd time, the sky split apart as their attacks clashed. This was the ultimate sign that Luffy had officially reached the level of the world's strongest pirates. If you've made it this far, you might already possess a bit of the Conqueror's Haki power. But to truly become a master, you need to join my crew. To never miss the secrets of powerful figures like Luffy, Shanks, or Blackbeard, hit that subscribe button today. Your subscription will be the energy that fuels our journey in search of treasure, the treasure of knowledge. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you're not left behind when the next battles unfold. Thanks a lot, everyone. Shanks and Conqueror's Haki. When talking about Conqueror's Haki, you have to mention Shanks. If you want to know just how powerful it is, just look at the scene where he only needed a single glance to make a Sea King flee in terror. Back then, we didn't even know this ability was called Conqueror's Haki, but it was clear that he was the first to show how overwhelming it could be. Then, when Shanks boarded the Moby Dick, Whitebeard's massive ship, things got even crazier. Imagine a normal captain stepping onto another pirate's ship. But no, Shanks didn't just step on. The moment he arrived, dozens of Whitebeard's men collapsed unconscious. Even the mighty ship, as sturdy as steel, trembled under the sheer force of his presence. Everyone around could only stand there, mouths wide open in shock. Shanks' Conqueror's Haki was far beyond Luffy's during the Fishman Island arc. Luffy could take down 50,000 new Fishman pirates with a single blast, but Shanks, he could do twice that, 100,000 with just one release. That's why, when he unleashed his Haki in Wano, it completely paralyzed Admiral Ryokugu from miles away without even stepping onto land. One of the most impressive things about Shanks is that he can infuse his sword, Griffin, with Conqueror's Haki. When he swings it, you can see thin black lightning crackling around the blade. And just look at the clash between Shanks and Whitebeard. The sky itself split apart. Rayleigh isn't just one of the strongest people to ever live. He also wields Conqueror's Haki at an almost godlike level. He has mastered it so well that he can knock out an entire crowd or focus on a single target without breaking a sweat. You probably remember the scene where he took down Shalria with just a wave of his hand, then immediately neutralized an entire room full of enemies with barely any effort. As for his power, there's really no debate. While Luffy was able to dominate about 50,000 new Fishman pirates during the Fishman Island arc, Rayleigh could have easily taken out all 100,000 without even breaking a sweat. This proves that his Conqueror's Haki is just as overwhelming as that of the other legendary figures in the world. On top of that, Rayleigh is one of the rare individuals capable of using the advanced application of Conqueror's Haki, infusing it into his body or weapons to enhance his attacks. Naturally, when he does this, thin black lightning crackles around him, a signature sign of this technique. In the anime, he has even been shown channeling Haki into his sword, further proving his mastery over this incredible power. Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock, the queen of Amazon Lily, isn't just known for her unmatched beauty. She is also one of the rare individuals who possess Conqueror's Haki. In fact, this was confirmed by Oda himself in an interview. So far, only 3 queens of Amazon Lily have ever been known to have this power, and Hancock is the current ruler. On top of that, she has all 3 types of Haki. Even though she has never used Conqueror's Haki in the manga, this fact was confirmed by her 2 younger sisters. But honestly, she doesn't even need it. She's already insanely powerful without it. Hancock has never bowed to anyone. Even when Emperor Blackbeard captured her and threatened her life, she remained fearless and unshaken. She never backs down from any man, except for Luffy, of course. Doflamingo. Doflamingo, the monster of the One Piece world, is no exception when it comes to wielding Conqueror's Haki. His story of awakening this power started very early, when he was only about 10 years old. At that time, he was being hunted by the people of North Blue, who tortured his family as revenge. In that desperate situation, Doflamingo's Conqueror's Haki suddenly burst out, knocking out everyone who was tormenting his family and allowing him to escape. But he didn't stop there. Over time, he gained full control over this ability, and we saw just how powerful he was during a brutal fight on Punk Hazard, where he used Conqueror's Haki to take down most of the G5 Marines. Finally, in his showdown with Luffy, both of them unleashed the full force of their Haki, creating powerful, lightning-like bursts that tore through the air. Chinjao. Chinjao, a living legend in the One Piece world, is no stranger to the power of Conqueror's Haki. His mastery of it was clearly demonstrated when he knocked out multiple opponents in Block C without even touching them, an incredible feat considering that most fighters in the Kurita Coliseum were powerful warriors. And when he faced off against Luffy, their battle was a perfect showcase of raw strength. The attacks from both fighters, infused with Conqueror's Haki, made the air explode like thunder and unleashed crackling lightning, proving that Chinjao was still a force to be reckoned with. Big Mom. Big Mom, also known as Charlotte Linlin, isn't just famous for her monstrous physical strength. She also possesses Conqueror's Haki. The first time we saw her use it was during Sanji and Pudding's wedding. When a man dared to ask about her connection to Mother Carmel, she was instantly enraged and unleashed her Haki, knocking him out on the spot. But that wasn't all. Her furious scream also paralyzed most of the guests at the wedding, proving just how overwhelming her presence was. Later, during her battle with Kaido at Onigashima, their clash of Conqueror's Haki caused an earth-shaking shockwave that split the sky in half. But what's even more impressive is that Big Mom doesn't just use Conqueror's Haki. She is one of the rare individuals who can apply its advanced form, infusing it into her body. The black lightning surging from her is clear proof of this enhanced power, allowing her to significantly boost her attacks. Combined with her armament Haki and insane physical strength, Big Mom is easily one of the most terrifying forces in the One Piece world. Katakuri. Katakuri, the beloved son of Big Mom, also possesses Conqueror's Haki. With his natural talent, Katakuri is a skilled user of this rare ability, as shown during his intense battle against Luffy. In a critical moment, he unleashed a powerful burst of Conqueror's Haki, combining it with Luffy's own to knock out Charlotte Flampy and her subordinates as punishment for interfering in their fight. Kid. According to Kaido, Kid is also one of the people who possesses Conqueror's Haki, a rare power that only those with the qualities of a king can wield. Although Kid has not directly demonstrated this ability in the manga, we have seen him use Conqueror's Haki in the anime. Sengoku. Sengoku, the former fleet admiral and leader of the Navy, is not just an experienced warrior, but also one of the few people who can use all 3 types of Haki. That's right, not only does he wield armament Haki and observation Haki, but he also possesses Conqueror's Haki, proving that he has true leadership qualities, on par with other great leaders. In both the One Piece manga and anime, there is a scene where Dr. Fishbonen mentions that Haki is a power all vice admirals must use, and it's clear that Sengoku is one of the people who can skillfully demonstrate this power. Kaido. Kaido, one of the 4 emperors and a nightmare to the world, is not only known for his immense physical strength, but also for his supreme Conqueror's Haki. In his confrontation with Big Mom, both emperors unleashed their Conqueror's Haki, creating lightning and shockwaves that shook Onigashima. But it doesn't stop there. Kaido is one of the few who can also infuse his Conqueror's Haki into objects. His Hasaikai Club is a prime example, with black lightning emanating from it, enhancing his combat power to new heights. Kaido doesn't just use Conqueror's Haki to defeat his enemies, but he also combines it with armament Haki and his natural strength, delivering devastating attacks that force powerful warriors like Luffy, Zoro, and Law to endure monstrous blows. Zoro possesses Conqueror's Haki without even realizing it. Typical Zoro, strong yet a bit clueless. But don't underestimate him, because once he discovers his power, he puts on quite the show. In his fight with King, when Zoro decides to let loose his Haki, he uses Conqueror's Haki to knock out the minions of the Beast Pirates, causing them to faint one after another. At that moment, Zoro realizes he has this special power, but it doesn't stop there. Zoro also has the ability to infuse Conqueror's Haki into all three of his swords, making black lightning crackle around them like something straight out of an action blockbuster, especially when he channels Haki into his most dangerous sword, Sandai Kitetsu. That's when King really understood what it meant to face a hardcore player. In the anime, Zoro uses Conqueror's Haki even earlier, when he hears the Beast Pirates mocking the suffering of the villagers from Ibisu and Okobore. Zoro gets furious and releases his Haki, instantly knocking them out. What's funny is that Zoro thought they fainted because they drank too much good sake. Who would have guessed that someone like Zoro could have such royal power while still being this clueless? Yamato is an incredibly powerful and skilled user of Conqueror's Haki. In fact, he had this ability from a very young age, when he was just a child running around Onigashima. Back then, he could knock out Kaido's subordinates with just a glance or a simple raise of his hand. As he grew older, Yamato demonstrated greater mastery over his Conqueror's Haki. A prime example of this is his ability to channel Haki into his weapon, Takaru. The black lightning that emits from the sword when he performs attacks like Reimei Hake and Shinsoku Hakujaku clearly shows the terrifying power Yamato possesses. The fact that Yamato was able to harm Admiral Ryokugyu, one of the strongest members of the Marines, using his Haki, further confirms that he is not just a powerful fighter, but also a formidable warrior in the world of One Piece. Garp is no ordinary person. He has mastered Conqueror's Haki at an exceptional level and is one of the few who can use the advanced application of it. For example, he can channel Conqueror's Haki into parts of his body or even objects he uses. Imagine his fists, always surrounded by thin black lightning, as if he's about to punch the heavens apart. What's even more impressive is that Garp uses Conqueror's Haki for defense as well. A notable example is when he faced Kuzan. Kuzan used his powerful ice ball technique, which was strong enough to freeze anyone it touched. But Garp, not only did he not get frozen, he shattered the technique effortlessly, and then easily counterattacked. He even grabbed Kuzan's face, pushed him down into the ground, creating a huge crater, and landed a powerful Conqueror's Haki punch. And don't forget his battle against Avalo Pizarro. Garp delivered a Conqueror's Haki punch so strong that it left a vertical scar on the pirate's body. Luffy's grandfather is definitely something else. Warchuri is one of the few people in the world who can use Conqueror's Haki. He can unleash his Haki in extremely powerful bursts, accompanied by a thunderous roar in beast form. What's noteworthy here is just how strong this Haki is. It's so overwhelming that it can disorient the two giants, Dory and Brogy, making them stumble like children being dragged along. It even affects Luffy's awakened body in a way that's hard to explain, a pretty strange phenomenon. And it doesn't stop there. His Conqueror's Haki is so powerful that it can knock out a group of Marines from several kilometers away. Whitebeard, also known as Newgate, is truly a master of using Conqueror's Haki. His Haki is so powerful that no one can ignore it. When he first met Kozuki Oden 30 years ago, their clash created an amazing effect like lightning strikes. Whitebeard's Conqueror's Haki reached incredible levels when he faced Goldie Roger. When their Haki collided, it was so strong that it cracked the air like a lightning strike and created shockwaves that blew everything around them away. Unsurprisingly, Whitebeard was also one of the few who could use the advanced application of Conqueror's Haki, like transferring it into his attacks. When he used his Naginata, his Conqueror's Haki released black lightning that scattered the clouds around him. Another impressive example was his clash with Shanks. With just one strike, the sky was split in two. Ace, a man of exceptional power, also possessed Conqueror's Haki, though at first, he couldn't control it. The first time Ace showed this ability was when he was just 10 years old. In a fit of rage, Ace accidentally unleashed his Conqueror's Haki, knocking out the entire Blue Jam pirate crew, except for Blue Jam himself. Truly, even at such a young age, his power was already so overwhelming, it's hard to imagine. Later, during the battle at Marineford, when he saw Luffy using Conqueror's Haki, Ace finally realized the power he had possessed for so long but hadn't fully understood. This moment marked a key turning point, as it was then that Ace began to truly recognize his special ability. However, he never used Conqueror's Haki again after his childhood years. Perhaps, without the intense situation in Marineford, Ace would never have fully understood and embraced the potential of his Conqueror's Haki. Oden. Oden not only knew how to use Conqueror's Haki, but was so skilled that he could knock out his targets with a simple burst of power. One of the most impressive moments was the encounter between Oden and Edward Newgate 30 years ago. When they clashed, their collision created an incredibly intense effect, like a lightning strike, along with a powerful shockwave. This wasn't the only time Oden demonstrated this power, as he also used his Conqueror's Haki in his battle against Kaido, creating a similar effect. Although there is no specific scene in the manga, the anime did show a more common form of Conqueror's Haki used by Oden, a burst that immediately knocked out many of Kaido's subordinates. Later, when Luffy used Conqueror's Haki to take down some of Kaido's men during the Wano battle, Ashura Doji remarked that Luffy was using Oden's special move. This proves that Oden had used this common effect at least once in the past, although we're not sure exactly when that was. Goldie Roger. Goldie Roger, without a doubt, was a true master when it came to Conqueror's Haki. His Conqueror's Haki was incredibly refined, and this was clearly shown during his clash with Edward Newgate, one of the strongest men who also possessed Conqueror's Haki. When the two collided, a powerful effect occurred, releasing an enormous burst that spread across the island where they stood, pushing back the Moby Dick, and blowing away not just trees, but also the clouds and people around them, like a violent tsunami. But the most notable thing is that Roger didn't just use Conqueror's Haki as a typical technique. He was one of the few people who could use the advanced application of Conqueror's Haki, which means he could channel this power into his attacks, making them exponentially stronger. We can also see this in his battle with Edward Newgate. Joy Boy. Joy Boy is one of the most unique characters when it comes to Conqueror's Haki. The giants Dory and Brogy commented that Joy Boy's Conqueror's Haki was so powerful, it was even stronger than Shanks. However, they didn't feel any hostility from this power, which highlights Joy Boy's personality and how he uses his Haki. It can be powerful, but it doesn't carry malice. An extremely interesting point is that Imu, the person behind everything in Mary Joyce, sensed an incredibly strong burst of Conqueror's Haki from afar when it came from Egghead. Immediately, Imu realized it was Joy Boy's Haki. Joy Boy could tie his Conqueror's Haki into a knot, preserving it over centuries. So when this knot was untied, a massive explosion of power would occur. When this happened, not only did a few people sense the power, but all the Marines near Egghead Island were knocked unconscious, including Vice Admirals. This power also affected the mysterious powers of the Five Elders, causing them to be cancelled out and forcing 3 of them, who had been summoned to the island, to return to Mary Joyce. Once again, Joy Boy shows that his power isn't just a fleeting phenomenon. It can change the entire landscape around him. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.